Good morning, everyone. We're going to give a few more minutes for some more people to hop on here. I know some people text me and said they were running a little bit late. So we have a couple extra minutes here for everybody to log on, and then we'll get started. Again, good morning, everyone. Welcome to F&I Menu Strategy Advanced Methodology. I'm Monty Summers. I appreciate you joining and taking the time today. First thing we're going to do is got some housekeeping things to go through. One of those of which is I'm going to have a hard stop at 10:45. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate you taking the time to hop on this morning. And so to respect everybody's time, 10:45, hard stop, no matter what. Two, I've taken the liberty of muting most of your mics. If you're hopping on, make sure your mic's muted so we don't have any interference or overlapping a conversation. And at the end, we'll open it up for dialogue. Just so everybody knows, I do record all these training sessions. I do that so that afterwards we can post them on our YouTube site, and then you guys can go back and watch them if you want. If for some reason during this session you get interrupted, have a delivery or what have you, I can send you the link and you can watch it at your leisure. Also, post survey. You're going to be getting a post survey asking how we did. And truly, we really appreciate you filling these out. And I want to know the good, bad, and the ugly. You're not going to hurt my feelings. It's okay. I use these to make our trainings better. At the end of this session, I'll have a QR code on the screen for you to take your phone, snap it, and fill the training out. It takes 3-4 minutes to do that. And at the end, I've got a little surprise for you too if you do that for me. Next, who is DAG? DAG's been around since 2007. We're committed to providing training, advising, and consulting services to both franchise and independent dealerships throughout the United States and Canada. Going back a little bit, training. Man, training's our core. Training's what we do. We love to do training. We're all the time training. And golly, let me tell you, it pays off. And the thing you know that about DAG is we only use strict legal and ethical advising methods, which are profitable. So just keep that in mind that if you're looking for a company that really truly gives you high value and information that's usable, man, we're your team. New office. We got a new office going in Westfield in the Motor District. And it's exciting. It's so cool. Now we're going to be opening in December. Those of you that's been on our Zooms before, we know it was November, but with construction, anything gets a little delayed. So we did have to move it back to December, but we're going to have, in office training, lots of features there, podcast rooms, and entertainment. I mean, we got a huge place to do some entertaining, get together and watch games or something. So we'll get to more of that later. Now, who am I? I'm Monty Summers. I'm Vice President of Training and Development for Dealer Advantage Group. I've been in the business over 25 years, both F&I and dealership experience. Lived in Indiana, grew up in Indiana, lived in Brownsburg my whole life, married with three adult children. My middle child, he's actually an F&I manager at a local dealership here. So what I'd like to do is kind of get into some other things here. So let me switch screens here a little bit. And let me go back one time here. I'm going to leave this screen up here for you guys. I know that some of you probably have some expectations joining us today. Some of those may be unrealistic. Some may be correct. Some may not be correct. But if you're here thinking you're going to go from $1,800 to $3,000 a car off of this 30-minute Zoom with us today, there's no chance. It's not going to happen. That's a holistic store where F&I is a team sport. The sales manager, probably a former finance guy themselves. They understand how to pencil a deal. To make it F&I friendly, you've probably got 2 to 3 preloads that you're working with. And by the way, kind of a shameless plug, if you want us or need us to get you preloads, if you need us to do training, if you want us to show you how to do that, well, guess what? Yeah, you found the right team, the DAG team. And if we can help in any way after this meeting, give me a call, give me an email. My number there is on the screen. I left it up there for this purpose. So when I mention that, you can write it down, jot it down, take a picture of it, and contact me however, text, whatever's good for you guys. Now, on the other hand, if you're here because you think, hey, I want to grind out another $100, $200, $300 a car, and after you take this content in, after you have the discipline to practice and role play with someone there at the dealership, then eventually burn the ships and not look back. Don't, be done with the past. Move forward and implement what we're giving you today. At that point, I'm very confident that you're going to hit your new goal of that $200-$300 a unit. Now this today is about the menu. Now again, F&I is a lot broader than just how to do a menu. It's the desk. It's the salespeople. It's pay plans. Hey, everybody's got to be included to make it work. It's the preloads. Using term as payment relief. There's a lot to this. I'm not going to spend time going over things that we procedurally would typically do. Like how do you introduce the menu? I'm assuming you have a way to introduce the menu. If you want to know our way, again, send me an email, text, call, get a hold of me. We will schedule some time together, 30-minute Zoom, phone call, trade text, whatever. And I'll talk your ear off about how I think you should do it. And, frankly, I'm probably going to be right. I just am. I've got enough experience, enough in this that our way is frankly the right way. We have a really nice, clean way to introduce the presentation. We just, it works. And if you try it, I promise you, it's going to work for you. Now, the other thing that some of you are probably wondering about, objections. My gosh, me too. And that's a big one. Everyone would love to hear objection handling. We could spend days and days on objection handling. We don't have near enough time today. we have a very clean, easy, non-confrontational way to overcome objections, whatever they are. Now, we're good at preventing most of them, but some cases you're going to just have to react to them. So we use the why positioning and up to. Now, if you want to talk about objections, again, I know I keep harping it. The reason why I left it on the screen, send me an email, give me a call, give me a text. I don't care what industry you're in. If you're automotive, if you're power sports, if you're in Indiana, or you're in Alaska, I don't care. I'm here to help you guys. That's DAG's principles and philosophies. So take advantage of it. Now, to start with, we don't use a menu for cash presentation deals. Now, I know I could probably, and let's be honest here, I could probably go and ask you, hey, do you do a menu with cash deals? And you're going to go, yeah, sure do. All the time, man. Yeah. Not very successful at it. Well, you know, we know the truth. Most of us, including myself back in the day, I didn't use a menu for cash presentations. Are you kidding me? I told my boss I did, but we have, it really works. We have and we've covered it in a separate Zoom already. But so I'm not going to spend time on that to how to present products to cash customers. But you got to go back and watch that Zoom we did. I mean, it'll explain everything and you'll love it. By the way, this video will be on our YouTube page in a couple of days. It takes a couple of days to get everything set up on that. And all our previous classes are on there as well. So when you have time, if you missed a class from previous, or maybe this is your first time and you say, man, I really enjoyed the information that was given. I assure you, go back, watch the others. They're just like this. So give them a watch. So I'm going to make some assumptions here about kind of what you may, or I think that you're here for. I'm assuming you've been in F&I for a while, right? You use a menu, whether it's an iTap menu on the iPad, or you use your screen, the monitor to show it, or you do the traditional old paper menu. You're probably somewhere between 1,800 and 2,500 a car. You're likely here because you want to grow to 3,000 a car. 3,000 a car. Some of you are saying, my gosh, that would be awesome. Well, guys, I was there. I was at 3,000 a car. I was at a DAG store, and I'm going to go through a little bit and show you what I was doing. Now, this took a lot of time. It's not something you flip a switch and it happens. It takes lots of time. But with DAG's collaboration, many, and I want to say many meetings, training, and processes put in place and followed, we reached 3,000 a car. Yes, we. Let me say that again. Yes, we. Because F&I is a team sport. We had to get the sales manager to do things a certain way, how to structure deals, how to pencil the deal, and how to save term for F&I. Now, we also had to get the salespeople to frame the sales process correctly, how to answer questions, how to present things. You know, it's a team, guys. And then DAG added a couple of preloads. And then after all this, guess what? We got there. We actually got there as a team. Again, I can't stress enough team. It's just not you finance managers that's going to make this successful. it's everybody. So again, if you think in a 30-minute Zoom that you'll be at $3,000 a car as of tomorrow, December 7th, come on. You're not being realistic here. So don't think that. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some work, commitment. But guess what? It will work, but you just got to be committed. So enough with that there. Get rid of this here. All righty. So this is the menu that we use. Hold on one second. I got something hidden here. So what I've got here is I've got the F&I menu strategy, the steps. Now there's 11 of them. And I know you're like, oh my gosh, 11 of them. Well, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. But what I've done is I've taken and put everything and written it out here on this form. Now, if you want a copy of this afterwards, man, hit me up, okay? Send me an email, send me a text, let me know you want a copy of it, where I need to send it to, and it's on its way, okay? So let's go through this, and we're gonna go one step at a time, and so you can see exactly how to do it. So step one, always present two payment options, one of which is a lower term, a decoy. And you're asking why? Well, the psychology purpose is to make the other option more appealing. So it doesn't matter to what your desk was penciled in the deal. You're going to add a second term that's 48 months. It may look very expensive. If you have a 66 or 72-month term by itself, right? If it's just that glaring one payment there, the initial blush for the customer, man, a lot of people go, oh, that's expensive. But when you take the 48-month term, it's not meant to be chosen. It doesn't matter what term the desk used. We don't care. It also doesn't matter if you're a difference figure store instead of a payment store. It just doesn't matter. So now let's go through that one more time and kind of read that a little bit. The third part there, it doesn't matter what was penciled in the deal. You add a second term. That's 48 months. Okay. And as you can see over here, this is our menu. And as you can see here, we have 48 months here, here, and here with a second option of here. So that's what step one is. Make sure you present two options. Now, step two, keep the rate the same for 48 months, 66 months, or 72. And why? Well, the customer doesn't know what the 48-month rate is. So use the rate from your lender for the 66 months or 72 months rate for all terms. And then you take the credit, okay? Tell them that with your relationship with the lenders, they love you. And that's how you were able to do this for them. Maybe even giving them a high five, you know, hey, you just saved them money. So why would you want to create an unnecessary objection by just increasing the rate? As all of us have done, again, me included, I used to take the rate, they're going longer term, I'm going to bump that rate up. One, maybe because the bank raised it on me, but it doesn't matter. You get a lot more win if you keep it the same and take the credit for it. Maybe your customer, you know, is rate sensitive, and going with an extended term, which makes the interest rate go up, becomes a roadblock. Sometimes it may not be possible, but it is a win when you can. Remember, This is high level sales psychology. Okay. So when you can keep the rate the same, do it. So as you can see here, no matter what term I'm going, my rate is the same, all at $8.99. So that's step 2. Now, step 3 is, if you can, don't put gap on the menu. Yes, you heard me correct. Don't put gap on the menu. Now, we'll come back to that here in a little bit, but I just want to show you here. You don't see I have gap anywhere in any one of these columns. You just don't do it as long as you can. Step 4, I want you to put every product, and I mean every product you have, at max retail in column 1. Why is this? Well, first of all, this is a crucial step in what we're learning today. Let's be honest. Right now, customers are only choosing column 1 2, 3, 5% of the time, maybe. So we can use this column really to our advantage. Now, we'll use column 1 as a kind of a throwaway column. Its new purpose is to make the next 2 columns look much more appealing. So I want you, again, full retail, as much as you can, every product in column 1. As you can see here, I've got all this stuff in here. Now, this is going to look expensive because look, it is $9.98 a month or $7.72 a month. So the other ones are going to look much more attractive. And you can see here on the example, this one, $8.48, this one, $8.01. So it just immediately, your mind goes this way. So we're using it again. It's kind of the throwaway column. Step 5, column 2 should have a VSC and only 1 or 2 products, like a bundle or something else, maybe key protection, something your pay plan incentivizes you to sell. Hey, that was me. I was all over it. My pay plan paid me to sell something. That was going to be in there. So take advantage of it. Why do we do this? This column, we are going to get the customer to choose it almost every single time. Again, no gap. That's for later. So we're going to get the customer to choose this column every single time. The middle column, the standard column, which again, you're going to have your VSC. You're going to have 1 to 2 other products in there. Okay. So that's how we do that step. Step 6. Step 6 down here is column 3. It is just going to be a VSC. Why? This is our fallback column. In the event we simply can't get the customer to choose column 2, hey, we're not letting anyone walk out of our office without at least a VSC. So again, column 3, just a VSC. Okay. And as you can see here in our column 3, we just have the VSC. So let's go back here a second. Column 1, everything under the sun, priced high, perfect. Column 2, the VSC, and 1 to 2 other products. Those can be at your choice. I'd probably make them products that are profitable, or you're incentivized to sell those. That's your choice there. And then column 3 has to have just the VSC. That's it. So that covers step 6. Now, step 7, we've got to spend some time building the menu. Columns 2 and column 3 need to be really close together in payment, as much as you can make it, preferably within $8 to $9. Because we found if you go over that $10 level and it becomes 13, 14, the mind just says, oh, that's a lot more. But if it just stays within that $8 to $9 payment range, it's perfect. Now, this will be easy with ITAP menu because in our menu, you can manipulate the products in each column. So a service contract in one column can be more or less expensive than a service contract in another. Now, if your system doesn't allow that, maybe it's a different term, mileage of coverage that affects the cost to the point where your margins are similar, but it's different coverage. This isn't the 48-month payment we're talking about here. It's the bottom one, okay? So again, column 2, column 3, really close to each other in payment. Is close to that $8 to $9 range you can get to. Now let me show you what ours is designed here. So I took some time, like I said, to make the menu correct. And you can see here, I've got this one here, 48 months, 66, 48 months, 72, 48 months, 66. So what I've done is I've stretched the term out here to make it actually less expensive or less payment than column 3 with only one product. Now the customer gets 3 products, more coverage, more benefits at less outlay. Okay, so that's the step 7. Step 8 is, I'm sorry, I kind of jumped myself ahead. Step 8 was extend the term in column 3 or 2 to make it cheaper than column 3, if at all possible. Why? Because we're going to make column 2 just too irresistible. It makes too much sense not to take more protection for less payment. As you can see, I've done this for a while. I start talking and I skip my own steps. Sorry about that. Now, number 9, be mindful of the column names. Why? You can name them twice with ITAP menu. We have full coverage, standard coverage, and base coverage. But we also have labels, which are essentially your word tracks that we'll use to clear through the menu. Column 1 is total peace of mind. Column 2 is most popular. And then column 3 is bare minimum. Okay, so let's look at that. So you can see here, we have full coverage, we have standard coverage, and we have base coverage. We also have the second naming of the column as total peace of mind, most popular, and bare minimum. So that takes care of that step. So we have 2 ways in ITAP menu to do that. And guys and gals, if you're interested in getting our ITAP menu in your store because it is just so flexible and truly, I don't know of anybody on the market that has this type of flexibility in a menu other than ours. So if you're interested and want to know more about it, hit me up again. So that's step 8. Step 10. When clearing through the menu, you will clear through the columns, not the products. So if you feature and benefit right as you show them your menu, each product with the customer, from the standpoint, you're just going to be another salesperson. You're just selling stuff. So you're really not doing yourself justice. However, if you review the columns high level and then invite questions about product or products, you can now give them your best product penetration because they asked about it. Oh, so they ask you about it. So trust me, you won't sound like a salesperson anymore. You'll sound like an advisor, an expert that was asked a question, and then you simply answer the question. Total different aspect on how to give them information. They've inquired, they've asked. Now you have a right and responsibility to answer the question. And so know your product, know everything about it, be excited when you answer that. So when you clear through the columns, again, it's going to be total peace of mind, most popular, bare minimum. Okay. Step 11. This is the last step, guys. This is where the column is selected. So if the customer chooses column 3, your goal is to move them to column 2. Well, how do you do that? Well, by pointing out that column 2 has additional coverages for a difference in money, obviously. Thanks to the extended term, in this scenario, it's less money. So you educate them at that point on one of the other products. Hey, I don't know if you realize, but you also get this or GPS in this situation. So you're then going to just reclose. You're going to give them the features and benefits at that point, and they're going to choose column 2. Now, if they choose column 2 to begin with, hey guys, that's a success. Move on. Okay, that's where you wanted them to land to begin with. So hooray, move on. Now, what if they decide column 1? Well, that's a little harder because when I did have that rare occasion when somebody chose column 1, I couldn't help but kind of start smiling. So you got to hide that big smile and say, great choice. And you go print, print, print as quick as you can. So now it's time to sell or gap. And I say sell, it's really kind of automatic, I guess. And we use a column called you may also like. It's kind of like the Amazon. Or you just say, you go on Amazon and you order paper plates and it comes up, would you like paper cups or would you like plasticware or what have you? Same kind of philosophy here. So a real simple close at this point, it's the customer's last decision and you can use a third-party presentation to sell it. Oh, by the way, the lender has authorized me to present gap coverage to you. What it does, It's only, I got down here 12. We'll look here in a second, see what it actually is in this scenario. But why do you do it this way? Well, if gap is basically a sure sell. So why would you want to include it in one of the menu columns and increase that payment and have to overcome that at that point versus work on that and then go, oh, here, you may also like gap, because most people, oh yeah, I need gap. B, if you apply this process, you're attempting to get a medium-sized bump on the menu and then a small bump with gap. Most F&I managers are going to try to sell it all in one lump bundle and get just that large. Okay, I got them. Oh, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But you're trying to get that large bump and include it in the menu columns. There's no need. Stop it. Gap's an afterthought. So in our scenario here, get this out of the way a little bit. So this is our menu. So if someone would decide, okay, yep, I agree, that's a great option. It's going to come up. So it's got the one they chose here. And then you may also like. And there's your gap. So Mr. Customer, I forgot, gap coverage here is something that is also authorized by your lender. It's only $18 more a month. And make sure they understand what it does. If not, explain it, and you go forward. So again, that's how you cover the menu and the last step. But if you're going for that large bump again, just don't do that. Stop it. So again, I can't stress enough, anybody that wants a copy of the 11 steps, hit me up and I will gladly send that to you. Anybody that wants to take the liberty to unmute their mic and ask any questions at this point, feel free to do so. And on the last screen here, I just want to say thank you. And I know it's written there, and sometimes we say thank you just because we say it, but I truly thank you for taking the time out of your day to allow me to share the DAG's way of doing things to help make you more money and the dealership more successful. Now the QR code, let's talk about the QR code there. I really need everybody to take their phones out. I really want to hear from each and every one of you what you thought of today's session. The survey is going to take, again, 3 or 4 minutes of your time. And by doing so, and doing that with your phone right now, I'm going to send you 100 DAG reward points. And you're probably thinking, what the heck is 100 DAG reward points? Well, what it does, it equates to $10. And we'll send you a login to log into our dealer rewards catalog. And you can redeem those 100 points for a $10 gift card to go grab lunch or what have you. So it's just kind of my way of saying thank you for taking the extra 3 or 4 minutes to give us feedback. And again, it's okay. If you loved it, tell me. If it was like, it was so-so, or you think, my gosh, that didn't help none. Tell me. It's okay. The good, bad, the ugly, I want it. So I'm going to leave that up on the screen there. And let's see here. Well, thank you, James, for the comment there about appreciating the insights. I appreciate that. So we're going to leave that up there. Ian, does anybody have anything they want to put in the chat or any questions unmuting their mics? Okay, you're all going to be shy today, huh? All right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. And again, I'm going to turn my mic off and I'm going to leave that up there for a few minutes for you guys to complete that survey. Again, thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to hearing from you either by phone, text, or email. Have a great day. Go make a bunch of money.